members. We do not speak on their behalf. The following contains language in an adult manner and poorly impersonated celebrity voices. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, this is Gene Simmons from the rock group Kiss, and you're listening to the Devil You Know podcast. I've got a stiff proposition, and you've got an opening in your ear holes. Yeah!
Con! I just watched that, dude.
Up?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Live long and prosper.
I will, or I am, and have always been your friend.
That's sweet.
Dude,
how's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. You?
Not bad. Very busy. Very busy. So
That's how we like
I'm
it.
stoked, man, and I'm stoked for the Satanic Warlock to come out pretty soon here, and of course, we got the new book that many of us wrote that Eric Berner's putting out, and can't wait for all this cool new stuff. And in the meantime, I'm watching lots of episodes of the old Star Trek. It's the 50th anniversary.
We've been doing that for a while now. We've been Marlene and I. We've been watching the old ones, marathoning them for about probably 3 months now, just trying to get everything caught up. And we've just finished number 5, I think, of the movies, the actual films.
Oh, sorry about that one. Number 5 sucks.
Oh, the one with the looking for God thing?
Yeah. 6 is good though.
What was it? The Final Frontier.
Apparently it's like the even numbers are the good ones for the original movies.
Yep.
I don't know why that is, but I actually like the first one. It's slow and the costumes are horrible, but I still like it. But yeah, I mean, Wrath of Khan. I mean, that's such a great movie.
That's the best one, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just it's really well done, and everything. Not only just the excitement and the rivalry between them, but even just the music. The music really gets your heart going with the, just the pacing of everything. It's really well done.
Yeah, the whole production value too. I mean, they just had much more money on this one. Ricardo Montalban was in it. That's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, that I love the muscle chest that they gave him in the
yeah.
Everything.
I was waiting for a little midget to come out and be like, "I'm sorry, little person, sorry," and be like, "The starship, But
right.
That didn't happen.
The Kirk.
Boss, the Kirk.
Did you grow up a fan of Star Trek?
Absolutely, yeah, loved it.
What about the other ones, like the Next Generation and stuff like that?
I heard that they were good. I just never gave them their day in court with me. I just never gave them a look. I actually tried to do what was the next one right after the, these guys?
Well, there was like Deep Space Nine and Voyager and
what first came out though? Was it Generations?
Next Generation.
Next Generation, yeah. I tried to watch that, and I'm like, no. I just can't. I don't know why. It just didn't hit me. You know why?
Yeah.
The old ones, all the old shows, what they did for me was they were so philosophical, and they were so like there's a message in each one of these things. A really almost satanic way of looking at the world and different things. It's just awesome to me. But the new ones, it's just about stupid crap. There's no message in it. There's no.
Well, you'd be surprised. Actually, I think in some of, especially like a lot of the Next Generation was actually very similar in their themes. But
I'll have to look. I don't know.
But it definitely wasn't the same. I mean, and I think that's just anybody who grows up on one special. It's just like Star Wars. You love the originals, the prequels, and it's gonna be the same thing. It's you attach to one particular thing, and I used to argue with a friend who he thought Picard was a better captain, and I said there's no way. Kirk's
crazy.
way better captain, and Picard's gay, and he's like, no, he's not gay, he's British, so same difference, but
oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I've always loved I don't know, I like all of them, but yeah, the originals, that's definitely up my alley. So, and I remember seeing the movies as a kid. So yeah.
Yeah, I bought them on iTunes. They had a big sale. It was like $59.99. You get all 10 films that were made. So we're watching.
Well, yeah, I've got the films on Blu-ray actually, and
okay.
and then I do like the new ones, the new series of Star Trek movies that they've got 3 of. I like those a lot. They're really well done. With the new cast that's playing the original characters. I mean, you've got the guy who just nails playing Bones like perfectly.
Oh yeah, Marlene loves that guy. I mean, and she's just infatuated with that dude. But I mean, every movie he's been in, she just like loves that guy. That's cool. But yeah, no, I dig him. I totally do. A lot of people, you get all these Trekkies out there. They're like, oh, the Enterprise class ship couldn't eject the cores like that. You can't. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's a fucking movie.
Enjoy
man.
a movie, exactly. Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes you just gotta relax and go, just have fun, watch it. But
something I find so cool is that Klingon's actually a language now. Like you can learn Klingon.
It is. Yeah.
I think that's really kind of cool.
There's books. You can. I remember quite a long time ago, they had a King James Bible printed in Klingon. I don't know if it's as much bullshit as it is in English, but
they should make a Satanic Bible, the Klingon version. You heard it here first, folks.
There's a thought. Yeah,
that'd be great.
So, yeah, I don't know. So maybe they got to expand that to like Romulan, and who knows? I don't know.
If anyone can translate, hit us up. And we'll put you in touch with our people, and we'll talk to your people. We'll have lunch.
Right on, man.
Let's start the show.
All right, let's do it.
The model dandy of British society and most modern exemplar of gentlemanly fashion was born in 1778 by the name George Brian Brummel, best known today simply as Beau Brummel, an undergraduate at Oriel College at Oxford and close friend and sartorial advisor to the Prince Regent. He's the man responsible for taking the more feminine vogue of European fashion from powdered wigs and breeches and replacing them with short, manly haircuts and pantaloons. His influence on modern, manly attire carrying to this day. Prior to Brummel, the ideal of male aesthetics was still largely that of the fop, a veritable peacock of a man of great visual excess. There we will find the white countenances replete with mouche, laced cuffs and brocaded coats of which I, your humble count, is most fond. Understanding, however, the current modernist interests among my fellow fraternizers of the infernal, and being well aware of its impracticality in contemporary times, we shall forego talk of such visual devices and bring further into contextual relevancy the import of today's modern dress. Although much has changed from the days of the original dandy, Brummel's precepts of a frock coat, long trousers, and more masculine grooming continue to be recognized today, at very least by those of proper education and good breeding. Today, common times belong to the commoner, modernly slovenly, and a thing unbefitting of all libertines who walk the left-hand path. In a world of cattle ranching dungarees and underwear used as exterior wear in the form of t-shirts, it behooves the discerning Satanist to at very least entertain the notions of a classier time, particularly if he intends to arouse the interests of the opposite sex. We shall in forthcoming episodes further into the types of appropriate attire for today's modern Mephistopheles, as well as venture on to talk of etiquette and comportment. But now, let us raise our chalices to the OD, original dandy, Beau Brummel, for if it weren't for he, you'd all look like me, with pasty-caked faces powdering your poet shirts. This has been Count MoriVond, a.k.a. your ignoble nobleman, a.k.a. the Vicar of Vice, signing off in nomine Dei nostri Satanus Pater Libertinorum.
Now you're drunk.
I get a lot of pussies that send me messages, and I don't mean chicks, that tell me that I'm a little too intimidating.
I think that's cool, man. You look awesome.
Oh, thanks. I love it. Yeah, that's me. I don't try to pretend I'm not, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If I intimidate you, then perfect. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
All right, so for episode 46,
Yeah.
you know, it's been a bit of a sausage fest the last couple weeks. It's time for
you always say
vagina
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
Another
Which
time.
Heather Height. All right,
Heather?
that's enough.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. What a reception. I had no idea that you had like
It's a soundboard.
like Vagina Time fans.
Of course.
Vagina.
Who doesn't like vagina time?
Vagina.
Did you just explain to me that it was a soundboard?
Yeah.
Like, did you really that thought?
No, we really have an audience here.
This is a soundboard.
Hell yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
I'm being forced to play fetch with Ava while I'm on the phone here,
Oh, nice.
bullying me.
Multitasking.
playing fetch.
How are you?
Yeah.
How are you after all this face fuck debacle?
Being kicked off of Facebook.
Yeah.
I kind of brought it on myself, you know, let's be honest. I just thought, like, you know, it was apropos of the date, like, with Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Apparently was a photographer. He took some nudes. Those nudes were of very Rubenesque women. And somebody in my friends list didn't appreciate those nudes.
Yeah. That's
so
friends.
even though they fall, under the parameters of, I guess, I don't know.
So if they were skinny, they would have been okay with it?
I'm betting that had something to do with it. I know.
That nails it down to two people, you know?
That
Those
nails it down to
fuckers.
nobody in the COS.
Yeah.
They wouldn't bother anyway, you know?
What?
I
Yeah.
don't
What
go
the fuck?
reporting people.
Yeah. I've never reported anyone. That's fucking.
Well, I wouldn't say I
stupid.
never reported anyone. I've done it for vengeful reasons.
Oh, okay. No, I never have. I mean, that's just crazy to me. But
You just, I know, I couldn't see you doing stuff like that. I couldn't see you bothering.
yeah, no, it takes too much time out of my
We'll
day.
go such great lengths to mess with somebody just to give them a little. I had an ex that I have not been with for like 20 years, okay?
Mhm.
And I happened upon him on Facebook, and I had a super smoking hot profile pic at the time, so I friended him and like waited, and he liked my profile picture, and then I blocked him. I never said a word to him. Like,
What a setup. Jesus.
for no reason. Like, this poor guy, you know? 20 years ago, I broke up with you, and I still hate you. That's what I'm saying. Look how great I look.
So right after
that is such a female thing. Just like, okay, there's my picture. Come on, like it. Come on, hit the like button. Come on, and you're blocked. Fuck you. You know?
That's funny. What do you do that you were so mad at him?
Oh, God. He was, do you really want to hear that? You don't want to hear that?
Yeah, but just call me John.
He was a, he was like, what was that word I'm thinking about? Gaslight. He was a gaslighter. He used to purposely try to say things to make me crazy.
Oh, okay.
Like there's awesome stories about it, the stuff that he used to do.
Right, like
You know.
what Daffy Duck used to do to Bugs Bunny.
I thought gaslighting was something you do at the lighter when you've had too much to drink at a party and lot of
too many beans,
food.
too many beans around the campfire.
I don't think that's gaslighting. That's fart lighting. That's
oh yeah, that's right.
totally different. He was a fart lighter. He used to light his farts, and I was just like, I cannot take this anymore.
Can't stand one more fart being lit on fire. Damn it!
This is just God.
If I get one more Dutch oven, I'm out of here.
He was a fetish anyway. Like I was totally into.
What did he smell like? Feet? What was it?
No, he was dying.
That's an interesting fetish.
Years later, he's still around.
Yeah, well, he had
Really sucked at
testicular
dying.
cancer. He had testicular cancer, but he was in his 20s, so he totally.
Wait, his name's not Tom Green, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
And so when I met him, he was going through chemo. He was just finishing up chemo, and he had one ball, and he was about to go into surgery to get his lymph nodes checked, and I was really into Anne Rice at the time, and like dead looking guys, and so he was I was like, that's kind of hot, he's all emaciated and
was his name Lestat? Yeah, I was gonna say Louis, always whining. Yeah.
You and your uniball.
So what?
Well, there's no accounting for good taste or whatever,
No, that makes the story better, actually.
Did he taste like chemo?
Guys that are dying.
He was dying, and I found it sexy.
She's in love with herself. She likes
it would have never lasted if I was with him now. Oh my God, I'd be like, damn, why aren't you dead?
I'm still here.
Ruins the romance,
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about beating a dead horse. Jeez.
Dead. Let's talk about life. What you been doing lately?
We haven't really talked about, obviously all the different things that you're involved with. I mean, from comedy to fetish videos and everything in between.
I'm assuming
what?
Fetish videos.
You're breaking up, Captain.
I said I'm assuming you'd prefer to talk about the fetish videos.
Let's save the best for last.
We want to know all of it. We want to know all of it.
We'll save the best for last. Talk about your comedy. I'm just kidding.
I was thinking the same thing. I started doing comedy almost 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I started actually because I was dating a comic. And because that's how women just get dragged into things. Like, like
yeah, because it's more like
music.
Let's do all the things you want to do. Yeah.
But I dated him for like 4 years, and he was always telling me that I should try it, and I didn't. And we broke up.
Was he dying?
No, he was not. Well, on stage maybe.
Oh.
Nice.
But he was always bugging me to start. And then finally, after we broke up, I actually went into comedy, and so I helped him write for like 4 years, and would like talk about I was involved in it already. And so I was already in the comedy community in Pennsylvania for what it was. And I was running my own open mic like 4 months after I started doing comedy. And yeah, it's not that exciting. I mean, I did a big fish, small pond in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. So I got write-ups in the paper and got publicity for my open mic. And it's easy. And I moved here and it sucked.
Right. Tell us a joke, funny man. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and I like doing comedy, but I'm not socially awesome, so I'm not good at
what are you doing with the phone?
nothing. I'm just sitting here.
Oh, okay. Put it near your mouth, please, because it's like because you're like I'm not totally and then I just
but not in your mouth, near.
No, just near it.
Oh, okay. I'll stop doing that then. I said I'm not.
David, wait till later.
Yeah. Fetish after this. Okay, sorry. But I'm not socially awesome. So when shit comes up, like I have friends who put on shows and they'll ask me to do a spot and I do it now. But I don't like, I can't deal with all the petty horse shit with other comics and doing open mics and just I can't be bothered. So I'm never gonna be a famous comedian.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I always thought of it as like a stepping stone anyway.
Yeah.
Which might be a like I am doing a ton of shit that I think of as stepping stones, and I don't have like I figure it'll all culminate into something awesome.
What are you stepping towards? Is the question. Yeah.
It's obviously something in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Like, I just did an audition today for an IFC film.
Oh, cool.
They contacted me on a model site, and they want me to play a mom, which is awesome because I'm always asked to play stuff that I'm not. I'm like, what do you like? The last film I did, it's 2 comics that did it. It's called Gender Bending or Gender Bender, and I play a porn star, and I have no lines, but I'm getting railed I did simulated sex with a black man for an hour in a room full of people for this film, and they're like, you're the biggest porn star in the world and this is really going to make your career even bigger and blah blah blah. And I'm like I'm a 200-pound 40-year-old woman. Like, what are you punking me right now? Is this
we talked to Ashton Kutcher. Yeah.
the fucking movie's gonna come out and it's gonna be like, actually she's a fat mess and or whatever. Like, it was just
Blocked.
Crazy.
Yeah. Your character falls in love with a dead guy. It's just so easy.
So I'm interested to see what happens to that character when the film comes out, because it's not a major role in the film. It's like I'm almost like a paid extra.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. Like, I had bare dick on my thigh, like simulated sex, room full of people, for like an hour. It was horrific. It was the most pornographic thing that I've ever done, and I shoot porn.
Like an hour-long tease, then?
I guess it was not arousing whatsoever. Now I know for sure that sex on camera is not arousing. And then so I like acting though. I enjoy acting. I'm also a writer. I'm a freelance journalist. I used to write for Penthouse Forum, which is a digest form of Penthouse magazine, not a collection of dirty stories.
Is it like, I never thought this would happen to me? They say
no, everybody thinks that, and it's not like because they have the forum section in Penthouse, which is called Penthouse Forum, but Penthouse Forum magazine is a completely different entity. It's a digest. It's a pornographic digest, Reader's Digest size magazine.
The night was sultry. Yeah, definitely.
Sultry.
Sultry.
Fucking right.
So I did celebrity interviews and an article for that, and I wrote for like some like Spin magazine. I used to do comedy album reviews. It's not exciting. No. No.
But we can make it exciting with sounds like this.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
People are so
it's exciting. That's fun.
Yes.
Yay! Yeah.
What else do I do? I do the stand-up still. I have a show on Friday.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about the show that I'm on is that it's called Paid or Pain. It's a comedy show where stand-up comics go on stage and the audience votes whether or not they get punished.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
And I also am a pro dom. So usually I'm the pro dom on this comedy show, and I punish the people. This is the first time that
How do you punish them? What do you do?
Like do
Spankings and
do
stuff.
forced femme
Bitch.
spankings, puppy play,
Puppy play?
hot
What's
wax.
puppy play?
It's
is it?
exactly what it sounds like. It's you make someone act like a puppy. You put a
Oh,
leash on them and a collar, and you make them do tricks, and you pet their belly.
you got puppy breath.
Wow.
Put this in your mouth. Yeah.
Ew. And my friend Lady Zombie is the house dominatrix. So when she's off, that's when I'm the dominatrix for the show. But now they're going to be filming or recording for Sirius XM channel, Raw Dog channel. So when I found it's called Raw Dog, it's a comedy channel on Sirius XM.
Cool.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I've heard it before.
with
That's
that,
cool.
when
Slow
I
down,
heard
slow
there was
down. We only been doing this for 15 minutes. You gotta slow down.
Okay.
So, please continue.
I don't have to slow down.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
But
So now,
anyway,
are you gonna be doing comedy this time, or are you gonna be doing the punishment this time?
be doing comedy. And...
What? You're in. It's not near your mouth again.
Okay.
There
Can you
go.
hear me now?
Yep. Perfect.
Yep.
Good.
Got it.
I'm gonna be doing comedy, and when hopefully it'll air on Sirius XM Raw Dog channel. So
Oh, very
eventually
cool.
you'll hear whether I failed miserably or not.
Right on.
Oh,
Well,
that's
hey,
cool.
I mean, that sounds cool. I mean, not many people are going to get that kind of opportunity. How long do you get to go? How long do you do your set for?
This particular show will probably be a 7-minute set. Anything for usually TV and radio spots are 7-minute sets.
Ah.
Okay. What's the longest set you've ever done for comedy?
Half an hour.
Wow.
Oh,
That's like
okay.
an HBO special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it wasn't that. It was all right.
Yeah. It's no Netflix special, but I mean, it's
No.
So you've coined the term vagina time. Tell us about that.
I was on stage, and Vagina Time, for anybody who
And
not
begin.
aware, is now a short film.
Really?
And
No, I've seen it.
you didn't. Okay, I was like, really? Why are you asking?
of course.
Come on, we always watch and listen to each other's stuff, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Vagina time.
Did you really?
Of
Yes.
course.
I saw it last year.
About a young comic or a middle-aged comic who says a cheesy catchphrase on stage and gets a laugh, and then it's her struggle with not wanting to sell out. And but what happened was I really did say one time, "It's vagina time" on stage, and then me and Dave talked about how fucking awful that is. And it did get
Having
a huge
catchphrases in
laugh.
general.
Yeah, and every time, the funny thing is when we were producing the film and shooting it, I would tell people that aren't comics, I was like, "Oh, we're making our first short film," and I'd tell them the story, and especially women, or only women, men never did this, and I'd come to the part where I said vagina time, and the woman I would be talking to would go, "Yay!" like every time. So, it's vagina
Hell
time.
yeah! Vagina.
Vagina.
So now, do you still get stuck with that? Like, I mean, do people shout that out when they see you on stage now, or?
No.
So I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I know that I know the movie was obviously fictional, but I meant I didn't know if you've used that enough times.
I haven't really integrated it into my set because I'm too embarrassed.
So it died like your ex-boyfriend, right?
It died, yes.
No, it lived on for 20 years.
Do you think chemo would help it out and bring it back to life? What do you think?
The thing that I get a kick out of is the kids who wrote the screenplay, and filmed it and everything, directed it. They're twins and they're in their 20s, and they, when they aged me, I'm supposed to be really old at the end and I have a cane and everything, they have at the bottom of the screen 20 years later. Apparently when I'm in my 60s, I am going to have had a really hard life.
A really rough life, yeah.
Yeah. They have me hobbling on a cane. Like, I was thinking I have like rheumatoid arthritis. And then, like, when I saw the film and they put 20 years later, it's like, they have no concept of age whatsoever. Like, seriously, do you guys really think 20 years from now, you think this is what I'm going to be like 20 years from now? Really? Did you at all think this through?
It's amazing how quickly that changes, like, your perception of what 60 is like.
Yeah.
60's the new 40. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's funny. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Who's Heidi Knights?
Heidi Knights is my alter ego. My husband David's dream was to be a porn producer. I actually think that my husband David's dream was to be a porn star. But I don't know if that's...
I mean, doesn't every guy at some point have that dream? I mean, yeah.
But, you know, there's people that dream and there's people that do, and we're doers.
I never dreamed of that. I had a nightmare once, but it's different.
We're give it a shotters anyway. And so I told her, I was like, you're miserable. Just, you got to be doing something creative with your life, and this is what you want to do. So start shooting porn. And he really went after it and like taught himself how to use a camera and software and found himself shooting gigs. Like, he's amazing.
Oh, men will go through great lengths to get to the vagina.
Yes. And in order to like not spend so much on models, I volunteered. I said, I'll model for you, you know, and and so we I kind of always dug spanking stuff, you know.
Who doesn't?
So I'll gladly spank people for you on film, and I had to come up with a name, and Heidi Knights is spelled weird because at the time I didn't want my kids to Google me.
Because she was going to be black?
Well, no, I didn't want my kids to like Google me to show their friends hey, this is my mom's comedy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then
this is my mom's butt. Yeah, right.
Like, man, your mom's not very funny in this, but I gotta watch it again though.
I don't think I get it.
They're like, I get it, vagina time. I get it. Oh man.
So yeah, Heidi Knights is spelled HeideeNytes, and it's and I'm that. Heidi Knights is on Facebook, and there's a HeidiKnights.com, and there's a Twitter if you're interested in spanking. Or we do other fetishes too. There's but fetish.
Well, is that been an avenue for you then? Like to say, hey, you know, Dave wants you to go after your dream, and while you're at it, I've always had this thing in the back of my mind I wanted to do. I mean,
it is like I always wanted to do like I was always kind of interested in like the spanking genre, and like I don't do anything past. So I've watched a lot of spanking porn, but while I'm watching it, I'm thinking I would love to do that. Like, you know, either end of this situation here, be a spanking model or, you know, a spanker. Like, so I don't know if everybody does that. I don't know if that's a thing. Like, I wonder how much it pays to be spanked, and I guess, you know, so yeah, totally. I'm living out something that, you know, that's like interesting to me that I never really thought that I would pursue. I never actually thought that I would pursue being like, essentially I'm a sex worker.
Yeah.
And because even though what I do is legal, I do have clients and that come over and I spank them for $300 an hour, $300 for 10 minutes. Sorry.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, it's not, I don't get a lot of people, but people do pay, and there's no sex involved, but it's still pretty intimate, and it's pretty like, tiring. Like, that's a workout the next day.
I'll bet. Yeah.
And there's like the last client, he was like 6'2", and, they want you to like toss them around and stuff. Like, I'm a pretty big girl, but like, you know, they want to be over your knee and they're struggling and you got to put your leg over them and hold them down, and, you know, like,
nice.
so they want you to like pick them up by their ear and put them in the corner, and so I get to beat men up and make them act like little babies. It's very
That's awesome. Yeah.
empowering.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and they love it.
Yeah.
I made him bleed.
I mean,
wow.
I don't know, a strange thing to me, like what the psychology is behind that. What makes a guy? I mean, everybody's got their thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of like nurturing, motherly tropes involved in the spanking genre. You know, like I drew blood. I was using a bath brush on him, and I had to stop and get one of those septic pen things that stops bleeding when you cut yourself shaving.
Oh, those little stingy white things? Yeah.
Yeah. And I used that on the place where I drew blood. So, and like all of that is like part of it. Like the aftercare, like you rub their butt with lotion afterwards and you scold them and tell them, no, next time like, and they love it.
She
like
touched
the whole
butt.
Yes, the whole nurturing, like people, I guess people that didn't have a lot of structure in their childhood or something, or
Wow.
Awesome.
You must see a lot of ugly butts then.
Not really. I've seen a few ugly butts.
Ugh, I couldn't look at it.
I also get to spank really hot models. If you look at our last,
Well,
our last shoot. What was her name? She's a really cute little black girl. Oh my god. And she was just so hot. So I get to do that. Like, I had to spank some of the most perfect heinies I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't do that.
Red beans and rice didn't miss her. Right.
At least you got some balance that way,
Yeah.
Balance out the ugly butts.
Yeah. Plus, I'm a bit of a sadist. I discovered through this.
Really?
I didn't know that I was, until I
Sadist Satanist.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I kind of enjoy it when people are yelping in pain. It doesn't make me, I don't have that instinct to be like, oh, did I hurt you? I just feel like, oh, yeah,
Ooh, I hurt you.
I meant to do this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, bitch.
That's funny.
Man out,
cool.
motherfuckers.
Me.
What's that?
Where'd you get that recording of me?
Yeah, that's Amy Pitt, man. She's rocking. That's awesome.
I am also, this is not as exciting. I've also started doing art. And
Yeah.
I actually sold my first piece.
Really?
What kind of art are you doing?
That's gotta be a good feeling.
I did, I sketched that it's, Alice in Wonderland, crucified on a mushroom.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
I actually sold it. I was so excited.
Wow. What'd you sell it for?
Right on.
You're like,
well,
money.
The person who I sold it to is gonna post it and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he'd be okay with me saying how much he paid for it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's none of our business anyway.
Yeah. It was a lot to me. Like any amount really would have been a lot to me, because it was my first real big piece like that,
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
Let's talk about Satanism a little bit. We hear you're a Satanist.
Right. Oh, I happen to be a Satanist, yes.
So how old were
Not
you when...
just that, but we also we've seen you at a certain anniversary in New York this last year.
That's right. That was so
We
exciting.
saw a lot of you, actually.
Yes, you did see a lot of me. I was a satanic altar, a nude altar for the 50th anniversary.
Yep.
Me and Ophelia Rain. Thank you, everybody.
It's a wonderful crowd we have here.
It was so much fun because that's another thing I've always wanted to do, like the movie Gypsy Rose Lee, with the stripping and burlesque stuff, and I've always wanted to try that. I kind of thought my moment was past because I am up there, and I'm not a young lady, and And so I didn't think that I would ever, like, if I was ever cast in the play Gypsy Rose Lee, I figured at this point I'd play the mom, you know? I'd no
I
longer
don't
be
know. I mean, like, I think it just depends on the person. Like, I know a lot of us guys who, as we get older, we're not as attracted to, young. Like, I like women a little bit older now. I mean, than I used to. Like, that's
Isn't
just
that
natural.
interesting?
I think it's our laziness. We just don't want to teach them anything. We want to know that they know what they're doing already.
I never thought that was actually a thing with men, because you don't actually see men with. I know men in their 50s who still date as young as they possibly can. Like here in New York, the age of consent is 17, and I know a 52-year-old man whose girlfriend was 17.
Wow.
Well,
I'm sure that it's a girlfriend though, and because that's what he thinks he wants until he goes out on a date and goes, God, you're an idiot. I don't want to date you.
Yeah, he's not marrying any of these girls that he dates. He just fucks them for a little while and then moves on.
Yeah.
But
you did a great job as the altar there. Were you nervous as hell beforehand?
I was terrified. It just about ruined my weekend.
Oh.
I knew I was going to have wardrobe issues because the back of my dress laced up.
Yeah.
And I had to pull the laces out, and I couldn't pull them all out before I went up there because that would look ridiculous, so I had to choose what kind of ridiculous I wanted to look. Yeah. And then I tripped on the light stand both times, going up and coming back, and I'm like, maybe it didn't get caught on camera, but it did.
Oh.
And then I
don't remember that though. I mean, so like, I'm sure it stood out to you, but I'm sure to most people it does not. Like, it doesn't stand out in my memory at all.
Yeah.
No, only one person mentioned.
They weren't looking at that.
Exactly right.
but yeah, I was excited to do a strippery thing, and after the next day, Peter and Peggy, like both on separate occasions, stopped me and told me about how much Doctor would have loved what I did because it's about law of forbidden.
Yep.
And my nervousness was a wonderful part of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was pretty proud.
Right on.
Yeah,
afterwards I posted online the Church of Satan where they praise you for taking off your clothes and dancing on the table.
Yes.
That's
only
awesome.
in our church. Yeah.
So how old were you when you happened upon the Satanic Bible?
I did not read the Satanic Bible until I was in my 30s.
Wow.
Actually, the funny thing is, the thing that brought so many kids in the 80s to the Church of Satan is the same thing that kept me away, which was the Satanic Panic, which brought a lot of the, Dr. LeVay and other members to the talk show circuit. Yeah. And I'm such a voracious cynic. And when I was a teenager, I just, every time I saw something about Satanists or blah, 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 I would turn the TV off. Even when I was a teenager, I was like, this is horse shit. So I never saw not one show with any on it because I refused to watch it. Because, first of all, Geraldo, I wouldn't watch him anyway. And I wouldn't. I'm too much of a cynic to be drawn in by today.
Oh, so you missed out all the stuff you found in Capone's vault then?
Please. I missed out all those fascinating things. He really cracked open some shit there, huh?
Speaking of cracked open, his nose was cracked open by that chair. That was a good one. I hate
by the
that
chair,
guy.
I remember the wrestler punching him in the face. Who
yeah,
was that?
and some chick hit him over the head with a chair and busted open his nose or something.
Is he allowed to do anything in the public eye? I feel like he should be in jail in place of the people who are still in prison because they were convicted of being satanic whatever and child molestation, and they're still in prison and they didn't do it. Like it was all like, how are they still in prison, and how is he allowed to still speak publicly and be taken seriously as a journalist? It just blows my mind. So anyway, yeah, I did not. I didn't look into Satanism because I didn't hear about the Church of Satan, because I assumed it was all horse shit when I was a kid,
Sure.
and just didn't partake.
Yeah.
I didn't. Finally, like when my oldest kid was 16, I believe, and I didn't raise my kids any particular religion, but if they would ask about something, I would look it up with them or whatever, before the internet, and I'd teach them about it. Like, okay, this is Buddhism and this is this. And so we did Christmas, but we did, like cute baby Jesus Christmas, and people celebrate Christmas because they worship, not because we do, but, we like presents and da-da-da, and druids and trees.
Yeah.
And so he asked about Satanism. And so I looked it up, and I found a website called Satanism 101. And that was my introduction to Satanism. I asked Peggy about it, and she knows the guy who used to run it and everything. He was supposed to be at the beginning of Conclave.
Oh.
Not this year, but last year, and he wasn't there. But it was a legit site. Like it was a pretty decent site. It was very informative, and it wasn't too hokey. There was nothing, it was Satanism. This is Satanism.
Yeah.
And it really was, there was nothing. So that's, and I never, again, I'm not a joiner,
Right.
So, and I immediately like I loved the idea of it. I would talk to people about Satanism, but never even occurred to me to look into like a church or an organization or join it. I was just like, oh, cool. I dig this. And I would go around telling, what Satanism really is, and I would tell people about it and stuff. Like I'm a fucking Jehovah's Witness.
Have you found Satan? Yeah.
Have you found Satanism? But it never occurred to me to join. And then David, years and years later, David was a guest on a friend's podcast, and he had just become a magister, I believe, when we met.
Mm-hmm.
And so we spoke a lot, and we would talk on the phone, and it was all like, yeah, of course, like I agreed with everything he said. And then he gave me the Satanic Bible, and then I read it. And then it was just like a matter of fact, like, yeah, well, what? Yeah, of course. this is exactly.
It's obviously me.
Yeah.
Me. But I still didn't occur to me to join. And then when Dave and I became a couple, I didn't want to jump in and join. Like, oh, I'm going to join the Church of Satan now, because I didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm just doing it because I'm married to this guy,
Yeah.
Right.
So I really took my time and really made sure this is what I want to do, because I have never been a member of any religion. I've never joined anything,
Yeah.
So I wanted to be careful before I committed myself to philosophy and became a member of that philosophy.
So if years ago, when you first had the Satanic Bible in your hands, and somebody said, in the future, when they celebrate their 50th year, you're going to be the nude altar. I mean, you would have never believed it, right?
No, I would have believed it. I would have been like, yeah, I'm so cool. Are you kidding me? It's so old.
Oh, it's awesome. So how about family? Do they know that you're a Satanist?
Yeah, I don't really. I'm like the white sheep of the family.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really associate with them. I'm an only child, and my parents were like irresponsible hippies, and they traveled with me around the country. And
I can relate. Yeah.
Everybody, So
yeah.
it's not like, it's somewhat becoming an estranged from situation, but I just was never around them, so it's none of their business. And when we we've gone to family things, like my mom's family, for Thanksgiving and stuff, And her brothers and sisters and my grandfather could give a flying fuck what my husband is. They, like I was kind of, I tell people I was raised Darwinian because my grandfather he says he's agnostic, which is old people for atheist, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And he pretty much raised me as a Darwinist. so he doesn't care if my husband is a Satanist. My second husband, the first time we went to Thanksgiving at my mom's.
How many have you had?
Grandfather, Dave is my third.
Oh, wow.
And my grandfather looked at my second husband and said, "What are you?" And he said, because he's kind of dark complected, he said, "Oh, I'm Italian, Polish, and Native American." And my grandfather, without even taking a breath, said, "Oh, Wapahoinski."
Oh. Come on, that's great.
There's no judgment there. I grew up with in a harsh environment that could give a shit.
That's awesome.
Oh.
My grandfather's the master of inappropriate old man jokes. Like, after that Fukushima tidal wave thing, he came out of his room and said, "I guess I won't be able to get my car fixed anytime soon."
And didn't he coin the term penis time?
Oh, yes. My grandfather coined the phrase penis time back in '09.
Always penis time.
Oh, man. That's great.
It's been penis time for a long time, guys.
Yeah, we'll get used to it.
We're all used to it. We get it. Penis.
Yeah.
My old show that I used to do with Adina Ardennes. He hates vaginas so much because he's so gay.
Yeah.
And I went online and I Googled the word yonic because that's, rather than phallic, yonic is a vagina shape.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just bombarded his Facebook page with just nothing but pictures of buildings that were vagina shaped.
Nice.
Well,
maybe you can make a magazine a counterpart to Horns and call it Clams.
I think Bob Johnson's got the.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Unless I want to do a lesbian version.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, I should do a lesbian porn magazine.
I'd read that.
Clams.
Of course you would.
Vagina.
Oh.
Clams and gams. That's what I'll call
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
There you go.
Clams and gams. That is so hilarious. So did I cover everything?
I think so.
Wait, can we do clams and gams and sweater yams?
Sweater yams, yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome. No, I think we did. I think we covered pretty much everything.
Except for the last question.
All right, so listen. This is a question we ask of all our guests. What does Satan mean to you?
What does Satan mean to me? Like the dude?
Well,
The word.
whatever comes to mind when I ask that question.
Well, Satanism, I could
No,
say,
Satan.
Just Satan the guy?
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean, but the word, the guy. I don't know what you mean by the guy, but what does Satan mean to you?
Satan is the man that I conjure. No, I absolutely abhor this question. Or at this, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are two of my least favorite questions.
That's why we ask it.
Satan to me is the what's the word I'm looking for?
Safe word. What's the safe word?
The safe word.
Banana.
Safe word.
Cheese sculptor.
Cheese.
Space shuttle. Darn it.
None of this is helping. Oddly enough, strangely.
Chocolate truffle. Hot pot of coffee.
When I think
Clam.
of Satan, I think of the No, that's not nice. That right in the middle of my. I was just gonna go.
Sorry, I didn't know you were gonna start taking off. Yeah, go ahead.
And begin.
When I think of Satan, I think of like ultimately Satan to me means self-actualization, and the definition of a self-actualized person is the one who it doesn't occur to do things like join an organization because they're okay in their own space. Like I had my favorite story about what is a self-actualized man was a professor. I think it actually was Maslow who asked his students one question for their final, and the question was, if a self-actualized man walked into a black tie affair and jeans and a t-shirt, what would he do? And they had to write an essay. Then they all came up with like he would, make the best of it. He would go and buy a suit, but whatever.
Right.
and that's ultimately what the goal is. And I'm not great at it, as you have seen by my antics online. There's a lot of things that I do not transcend. There's a lot of things that I do not let go. But that's my prerogative also.
Yeah.
As a Satanist. So that's when I think of the word Satan.
You think of Satan, you think of all that stuff, your essays and
self-actualization.
Awesome.
Right on.
I know, that's cool.
That's a great answer.
Totally relate. That's great. Well, we want to thank you for coming on. You are now a devil we know, and it was really, really nice having you.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Until next time, hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Satan.